Master these 3 simple metrics to start growing your e-commerce 5 times faster. From my experience studying 100 websites and from being a strategic consultant of dozen big stores, I will share with you my 3-step checkout method, my top 3 and favorite metrics, my process of reading them and comparing them to market benchmarks, what these metrics tell me and the issue behind, the insights and tips for digging deeper. This is going to be very useful for everyone that is starting a new e-commerce, for all e-commerce managers, if you're using e-commerce for dropshipping. Each of these metrics is an healthy indicator of the 3 main areas of the customer journey: the product discovery, the shopping experience and the checkout process. Each of these gives you a clear state of technical reliability for that area, and it helps you understand clearly what to improve, like your marketing strategy, your offer, your pricing, the usability of your website and all the features that have a clear impact on performance. Good, let's start from the top of the funnel in the product discovery area. And here we have probably my first and favorite metric, the percentage of active users. This KPI is fundamental to understand if there are any kind of issue in the early stage of the journey in the shop. What is it exactly? It's the number of the engaged users versus the total of the users of the website. It represents a user that didn't leave and they're getting actually engaged with the website. So you can use the GA4 active user metric, or you can just make your own by tracking some specific events that represent engagement, such as use of filters or the usage of the product configurator, so the user that actually choose a size or a color, for example. I love this metric because it tells us many things. Does the website have any kind of issues in opening the pages in general? Is the marketing strategy matching the actual offer, the prices and the services on the website, such as shipping time, the cost, returns and payment options? Is the marketing strategy attracting the right audience and with the right interest to the offer? Is the website design well done, and is the user experience in general effective in leading the user to action? By tracking this metric, we can identify many issues in the early buyer journey. Make any kind of necessary adjustment to improve all the conversion rates. My tips about active user are: test speed. Make sure you use my framework, check out the video. Track all the broken links with a specific tool, especially if you have a kind of business that is based on seasonality. So if you refresh your product collection and lines often and you have to deactivate products, so you need to track if you need to put any kind of redirect and if you have broken links. Use country and category drill downs to go deep into this metric and understand whether it's working in some region and different countries, for example, or if it's working better in some categories. Use heat maps and tools like Hotjar, for example, to study in a qualitative way the customer journey and how customers are using your website. I have one mantra here: if the user is not hot, he will never buy. So no engagement, no conversion. And really, this goes much beyond e-commerce, right? Getting deeper into the funnel, we get to our second metric, add to cart percentage. So this is really the queen metrics in the shopping experience, and it represents the number of the user that actually added at least one product to the cart. What can this KPI tell us? And what question does it answer? Is our user finding exciting products from categories and using filters and the search? Are the product page and the pricing effective and in comparison to the competition? Is there enough stock behind the bestseller products? So this KPI is really very important. And here are some tips. If this KPI is low compared to your benchmark, check if the user is actually reaching the product pages or if it gets lost before. Use product and category drill downs to understand what's working and what's not. Make sure you check stock every week with your team. And if you may think you have some problem with the price and discount with your competition, it might be very useful to have a price comparing tool that helps you to track and check and compare the pricing from your website to the competitor's website and to the marketplace. So there is no fancy mantra here. If conversion is low, check add to cart percentage. That's it. To the last, percentage of checkout completion. This metric is not really a secret, and it's the metric for the checkout. It's the portion of the user that start a checkout and they actually complete it. Keep track of this metric when the user put at least effort to fill in the address and press the first next button in your checkout. What does this metric tell us? Are your services competitive? Do you have free shipping compared to your competition? Free returns and the shipping price and the option you have for payments? Is your checkout fast and easy to use? It's very important. Is your checkout technically always reliable with all the methods that you support in all the countries and all the kind of product? Some nasty issue here might be like intermittent technical issues related to specific countries or specific payment methods or certain credit cards. So some tips are very specific to the technical area. Make sure you have detailed test book for testing all the use cases of the checkout. If you are supporting and selling different countries with different taxes and many payment methods, test what could break in the checkout process. If you have any doubt, simplify, remove all the barriers, remove alternative methods of payment, re-add them later after you tested all of them and you're sure they're all working. As you spent a lot and it was very hard to convince the user to buy, now that they really want to buy, make sure it works. You know, I will not make a joke here, but in general, after all the effort, make sure you deliver. So these were my top 3 metrics, and they are part of my detective kit when I need to find out issues on a project or I need to find new potential on a project that I want to optimize and make grow faster. Some tips about the process and market benchmark. First of all, you should really understand what are the benchmark for your specific industry and what is this range of bad and good and where you're standing in it. How to compare those metrics. Comparing this data in time, so it's very useful to compare data like of this week to the last week or this month compared to the last month. It's much better if you have some track record, at least of 1 year, to compare the current week of the year to the last same week of last year. Think about it. It's not really useful to test the Black Friday against the last week without any kind of discount. You always test and compare the Black Friday week of this year to the Black Friday week of last year. Master the art of segmentation to understand, deep dive into each one of these 3 metrics and find out what is working and what is not into different countries, into different categories for different products. Awesome, let me know what you think about 3 metrics and the framework itself to study your customer journey, and check out the link in the description where you can find many useful resources about benchmark for different industries for each one of the KPIs. Make sure you subscribe not to miss the Fearless e-commerce series that I'm making with many stories about crazy negative cases that we solved, really genius simple solution that skyrocketed many projects. Make sure you check out my video about the 3-step framework to test speed. Thanks for watching. This was Frenk. Stay tuned for more videos about tech and business performance.